How's it going, everybody? Hope you're well, and welcome back to Music with Michelle, and welcome to my first reaction to the brand new Voidz single American Way. Today is the 4th of July, so happy July 4th to all those who celebrate. Of course, I had to dress accordingly, and to celebrate July 4th, the Voidz have decided to drop a brand new single, which is apparently the B-side to Prophecy of the Dragon, a song which I did react to on this channel a few weeks ago. The link is in the description if you want to check that out. As always with the Voidz, I've got no idea what to expect from this song, what kind of tone it's going to be, so let's just get straight into the brand new single American Way. So they did upload the song to YouTube, but I think a bit like Prophecy of the Dragon, there's no actual video, it's just the actual cover of the single. So let's get straight into it. So that was the brand new single American Way, and as expected, it was the unexpected. You know, without repeating myself too much from my last reaction to the Prophecy of the Dragon, you never know what to expect with this band. They always take a different route. When you think they're going one way, they'll go another, and I think that's the beauty of them, is that it's so unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do, which makes me very excited for what I hope is their upcoming album, because yeah, I mean, we've had 2 songs so far. Obviously Prophecy of the Dragon and American Way, and they're 2 very different songs. I mean, this one definitely at the start especially reminded me more of like Human Sadness. This one had a really cool progression, and whereas Prophecy of the Dragon was kind of a mishmash of sort of heavier stuff, then a bit Daft Punky, this one was definitely more reminiscent of their more earlier stuff, like I mentioned, Human Sadness. And yeah, it definitely feels like an early Voidz song, you know, something they would have made a few years ago. You know, I really especially like that effect that they put on Julian's voice. We kind of saw it a lot on the most recent Strokes albums, actually, like the new Abnormal and Come Down Machine, on songs like Call It Fate, Call It Karma, Chances, and then on a new album like At the Door and Eternal Summer. And the Voidz definitely like to utilize that kind of the vocal effects on Julian, even live as well. I saw a few weeks ago they did a live show and they had the effects there as well, and it works really well for his voice because he has like a really nice voice. And those effects came in and out of this song. You know, there's certain verses where it was a bit more, I don't even know what the tone you would call it. It's just sort of more cagey, a bit more static. Then he was clearer in other parts of the song. But as usual with the Voidz stuff, you know, quite hard to understand what he was actually saying for the most part, because the music in this song especially is more of the foreground, whereas the lyrics and the vocals are actually more of the background. You know, the guitars and the drums and the bass were really dominant in this song, and the vocals were kind of in the background a little bit more, which I think is a cool approach for a song, especially, you know, a band like the Voidz. They know they can try this sort of stuff because their fan base is more receptive to all that kind of things, whereas, you know, if for example the Strokes tried to do that, I don't think it would work. But that's the beauty of the Voidz, is that they can try all these different things, they can experiment, and I think the fan base and the community around the Voidz is really cool because they're very accepting to all this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, Prophecy of the Dragon was so out there, but it was so different, so cool. And although this one is a bit more grounded in the Voidz discography and it's a bit more recognizable, I think it still has elements that a lot of people maybe wouldn't like, especially if it's the first time hearing the band. You might get a bit put off by it, but I think as Voidz fans, we've come to really like this kind of approach to music. I'll have to dig into the lyrics a bit more because, as I said, it was quite hard to hear first time listening, but it sounded like a bit of a criticism about power and the American way and things like that. And because it has been released on July the 4th, it definitely has some sort of deeper meaning. But I think that's why I like the Voidz as well, is that most of their music has some sort of purpose and some sort of message. Even if I don't really get involved in that kind of stuff, I think it's still refreshing to hear a band approach things. Especially Julian's a very outspoken person. He has his own opinions, and yeah, I think he puts that into music quite well. And although it's not really my kind of thing, I don't really like to talk about that kind of stuff and get involved with that kind of stuff, I can still appreciate it as an art form. It's a good way to express yourself. So yeah, overall, I think it's a really cool song, and it just further amplifies my sort of hunger for a new Voidz album. It's been a very long time. I think Virtue came out, was it 2018, 2019? So we're about 4 or 5 years on from that album. So really want to hear some more from the Voidz. I'd love to hear a whole project from them. They've been doing touring recently. They've done 4 nights in San Francisco. They've done a few festivals on the circuits and stuff. So hopefully that's a sign of more to come from them. And when they do eventually release their next album, I will be reacting to it on this channel. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please feel free to subscribe, as I will be covering that alongside a whole heap of different music content. And I just want to say a big thank you for watching, and to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and hope you have a nice day.